Yo, what's up, broskiis? Coming at you with a slightly different intro than normal for this Danger Darkworld deck profile. But I was out here getting my steps, as should all of you. Currently in contest prep. Caffeined out, not sponsored. But about to get on into it. Basically, I want to say, like the video. If you've been liking the videos, comment down below what you want to see next. We have a Rogue tournament series starting. Should be this Sunday. I don't know. I'll put the exact date in the description. But it's a format with like 17 different decks. So like, 3 decks. There's so many decks. Like 3 are getting like an automatic like first round bye. So we're pretty excited about that. I think first round's like a spicy Vindred build. So if you're excited for that, comment below for that. Subscribe, because it's going to be crazy. This thing's going to expand over like months. We're going to add different players. But I guess we'll go ahead and get into the video.
I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a box where the owners.
Yo, what's up, broskiis? Coming at you with the update of our Danger Darkworld deck profile. This one's a little more consistent after a little more play, a lot more testing actually, a lot more ass kickings. But I'm gonna get into it. I mentioned some of the updates I was gonna do, but decided to go ahead and drop it. Next one, I think I want to try to test like more of like a synchro type, like a bigger synchro package. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So Triple Bigfoot, pops card on the field, so pretty great. I'll go through this one a little bit quicker, since I've done it before. Triple Danger Thunderbird, the big ones don't change because you want to turbo into rank 8 plays. Rank 8 toolbox cards are some of the best, like those and 4 are some of the craziest ones ever printed. So you want to get them to them as fast as you can, so you keep on like establishing somewhat of a board. Also going second, these are just really good cards to like tear through your opponent's board and just like beat over stuff. If to make you go first, it allows for like a somewhat decent setup. Next up, Triple Nessie. This card's nuts. It's off 3, so we're gonna play it at 3. Tutors into any other one. Just special summons one from your so this one, if it's discarded, if it was not Danger Nessie, special summon 1 Danger Nessie from your hand. If you draw 1 card, if this card is discarded, you can add 1 Danger card from your hand, from your deck to your hand. So it gets you anything you need, just depending on where you are exactly, like in the game state. Dogman, I cut it down. I'm gonna drop the comment in the video, but it was brought to my attention that Dogman's a level 7, so really no need to play more than 1 of him. He does help crack boards, because worst case scenario, I think I said in the last video, he comes down and he'll have everything on the field like attack. Well, you can have all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000. So that's pretty big, because you think about it, even if it's like a 2k, so if it's like a Dragoon and you like zap it by 1,000, it's over 2k. It's much more manageable, stuff like that. So worst case scenario, it just baits out of the gate. Also, it is a level 7. Once again, it is a level 7. I didn't know that, so whatever. 2 Mothman, I think I ran 3 in the last profile. It allows you, it's basically like a nice rank 4, and it will level 4, and it's basically like another Darkworld Dealings. Darkworld Dealings, like one of the crazier spell cards in this deck. 2 Chupacabra. Later off in your combo sequence, you definitely want to see one of these to keep building your board, cracking a board. Bring back a Bigfoot, go into stuff like rank 8s. Jackalope, Snake, the best ones. Snake's just advantage, period. Jackalope gets you anything out of deck. Snake is probably the craziest. It just gives you a free body on the field. 1 Fabled Cerebrel. I only play 1 of these. I was playing 2. it's a great card. It's like a nice body, especially if you're link climbing. Also, I cut the synchro package down to 1 card in the extra, so not super necessary. But it's a nice body. It's a nice discard target for your discard. So next up for the Darkworlds, 2 Grapha. You know, not much to say about him. Level 8 beater. He's removal. He's everything you need. He was involved in a lot of like FTKs in his lifetime. If you're unfortunate enough to play during the Gumblar, like the Gumblar era, that's pretty rough. I think that only lasted like 3 months. I think I only went to locals like twice during the Gumblar loops. And me personally, like I never played against that deck, but you know, they were topping our locals like pretty regularly. Triple Beige. I mean, not much to say. Discard him, free special. So obviously, a bunch of nice level 4s. Tutor into like any rank 4 in your extra. It's not a once per turn either. Triple Brow. He's an upstart goblin. Nice level 3. We do run one like pretty insane level 3 in this deck. 2 Snow. Searches any Darkworld card. I've seen a lot of people like in a lot of different videos, a lot of different like posts talk about running 3. Like 3 is like super necessary, but it's not, because if you ever opened up like more than 1 Snow, you just feel like, I don't know, it's just super shitty. Like, you know, if you open up a hand like of all Darkworlds and nothing to start proccing their effects, you're just kind of sitting there looking crazy. So 2 Snow's perfect, gets you any Darkworld you need. Gates of Darkworld, incredible extender. Banishing a Fiend in grave doesn't really matter because you can get it back with your Levier in your extra deck. Just really powerful field spell. So we basically played at 4. Next, 2 Darkworld Dillings. This ain't changed. Draw 1, discard 1. Each player. This card's kind of insane. I've seen a lot of people play this at 3. I think 3 is incorrect because it's like you can brick off this card, believe it or not. And then I don't know, like you just don't want to play it. Like I kind of thought about just playing it at 1. It'd be like super sacky, but basically this is a super old card. Both players reveal their hands. Each chooses 1 card from their opponent's hand, then you discard the chosen cards from both players' hands, then both players draw 1. So you are letting your opponent get a draw, but you get like hand knowledge, so you kind of know like what you're about to play into. You know, there's sometimes I open this and there's just not like no hand trap, or you know, I'll see their hand, I'll see Nibiru, and I'm like, okay, I got to get into like one of my rank gates, or else they're gonna blow my whole board up. Double Pot of Avarice. I didn't run this in the last build, but this card I feel like in this particular deck is super essential, because I've burned through like 20 cards like turn 1 before, just with all the drawing, discarding, drawing, discarding, drawing, discarding. And you know, obviously you don't want to open up this card, but if you happen to draw into it off one of your dark, you know, danger effects, it's just beautiful, because there's times you have like, you know, 15 cards in your graveyard, or you know, 5 cards in your graveyard exactly, and you kind of want to just shuffle all your dangers back in. You know, maybe it just depends on what you have. Pot of Avarice is pretty insane. Card Destruction. This card is also pretty insane, because if you open up Card Destruction, blink your whole hand, it gives you a higher chance of drawing into Pot of Avarice turn 1. So you blow up your hand, trigger a bunch of the dangers, and then you're probably drawing multiple cards off the dangers. And then if you have Pot of Avarice, you know, you build your board, drop the Avarice, you know, shuffle up, draw 2. These 2 cards are just insane to like draw like in sequence, you know. Next up, 1 Danger Response Team. I was not playing this card at all, mainly because like when they came in the mail, I'll show you, I bought 2, but when they came in the mail, they came in like super shitty like this. And I think this is like a pretty common theme between all those 2019 Mega 10s, which is super unfortunate. If you played Thunder Dragon, if you ever bought the reprints out of those 10s, like they're super warped, and this one's like no different. I literally like put this on the edge of my table and like flatten that shit out, just so I could do it for the profile. I know you can take a hairdryer to it, but that's neither here nor there. So basically, target one danger monster you control and one monster on the field, return them to the hand. If this card is in the graveyard, you can discard one danger monster, place this card on the bottom of the deck, then draw one card. So either way, you're proccing an effect, or it's just like spot removal because you target one danger monster you control and one monster on the field. So it's crazy. So it's removal and it kind of gets your your hand going. Last card to make it 40, Eradicator Epidemic. I was running 2. At one point I was running like 2 of these and Crush card, but it's just not, you kind of want to blow out card like just in case they make you go first. But this is definitely like, it depends on what you're playing. This could be like Crush card, this could be deck dev, Avarice. But when I was running 2, I found myself like opening 1 a lot, and then off of all my danger effects, I was like drawing into a second one. And like, you really want to build a board first and see this later. But whatever. But that's it for the main deck. I'm gonna get into the extra. There's some like nice, really cool changes I made here. It was super cool. So one Wee Witch, you already know Wee Witch, she boosts all darks by 500. So the Dark Charmer Gloomy is pretty sick, honestly. It's out of the new Battles of Chaos. You can target one dark monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your zone this card points to. If this link summon card is destroyed by battle or is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while in its owner's monster zone, you can add one dark monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect dark once per turn. So she's basically a target for almost every card in your deck because everything has like under 1500 defense, I believe, except Thunderbird maybe, and Grapha even. Like Grapha has 1800, so you can't get Grapha, you can't get Nessie, you can't get Thunderbird, but you can get like almost every other danger to get your engine going. I'll zoom a little bit on this camera so you can see the artwork. See that? Okay. Barricade Borg Blocker. Sorry about that. So this card gets your energy going basically, and then the end phase gets your field spell. Other than that, it's what I use them for. Next up, Curious is just insane. Dumps a card. This is pretty standard with any danger list. This card's link summon, you can send one card from your deck to the grave. If a card is sent from your deck to the grave, by an effect, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the grave. So each one of those, you can only use one of those effects per turn. Nightmare Unicorn, I probably should have IP in here, but I didn't want to take Wee Witch out because, I don't know, like 500 just seems zesty. But I guess going, if you're going first, you should definitely probably want to have IP so you can, go into your Unicorn. Last link card, Appaloosa, super easy to go into, with plenty of resources to keep going. So you aren't just ending on like a 4-mat Appaloosa, you're probably still comboing after that. Next up for the rank 8s, one of my personal favorites that just dropped, the Zombie Vampire. So if you use a monster with a level that is owned by your opponent for the Xyz summon, refer back to is Dark a boy or a girl? I don't know. I don't know, whatever. So you can get a card out of the graveyard with Dark, and then you can use Zombie Vampire to overlay. Neither player can target this card with effects of special summon monsters except those special summoned from the graveyard. You can detach one material from this card. Each player sends the top 4 cards from their deck to your graveyard. Then if any monsters were sent to either graveyard by this effect, you can special summon one of those monsters to your field. So the only scary part of that, some decks would actually really like that setup. But for some reason you were to mill a problem card, just suck that one up. But yeah, this is like my favorite rank 8 currently right now in this deck. But yeah, 1, the Zombie Vampire, 1, number 38, Hope Harbinger, Dragon, Titanic Galaxy, Dingirsu, of course, number 90, Galaxy Eyes, Photon Lord, Monster Negate, Removal, Spell Negate, number 68, Santa Fallen, the Sky Prison. You can cut this for the IP if you want to, but this is actually a pretty crazy card. You can attach one material from this card until the end of your opponent's next turn. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard. So, pretty crazy. Also gains 100 attack and defense for each monster in the graveyard. So a lot of times this thing's like well over 3k. So it's 3k Sky Prison. This card's great. Needs a reprint. It's kind of expensive. I think it's like $15. You can cut this for IP if you don't want to pay for it. Let me zoom in one more time. Like I was saying, you can cut this for IP. Cut a lot of stuff for IP. This is just personal, preference. This is a much more competitive list in my opinion, but of course you guys will let me know in the comments. One Abyss Dweller turns off like some decks. One Levier, the Sea Dragon, helps you continue to combo off. That's it for those. That's 14 cards. Here's 15 still playing at Fabled and Wraith. So this card's insane. I kind of went over it last time, but if this card is special summon, your opponent can discard one card and negate this effect. Otherwise, you can draw 2 cards, then discard one. So it turns your whole engine on. If a monster is sent from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, you can target one of those monsters, special summon to your field, but negate its effects. You can only use each of the effects once per turn. So you can steal a monster from the grave if they choose to negate this effect, continue to link off, or you can continue with your combos, just build a zesty board. But that's it for this one. Like the video as always. If you like the video, comment down below what you want to see next. Comment down below if you wanted to see us kind of expand on these builds of this Danger Darkworld. But we have like 10 profiles ready to come up. We have like some exciting news. I'll probably say in the intro of this video. I'm kind of recording this backwards. But like I said, like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.